In addition to the three areas of air transportation, autonomous systems, and small satellites, we see a big role from MIT and from our department in education. And we've, in our strategic plan, we've actually elevated education to one strategic thrust. And the reason for that is because we think there is, as I mentioned earlier, we foresee a shortage in qualified workforce in the field of aerospace. And in addition to graduating students that are going to go and spend their careers in aerospace, we also see a tremendous role in continuing education. This is an area where we think MIT and ourselves, in particular in the department, could play an increasing role. In the area of air transportation, we have unique strengths in that we are probably one of the few departments, or certainly one of the earlier departments, that has started to look at the environmental impacts of aerospace. And it turns out that the environmental impacts of aerospace on the atmosphere are rather unique. They are very different from pollution which is emitted at ground level. In that most of the pollution coming from aerospace is released at 30,000 feet, and then there are unique pathways for these chemicals to dissolve and to disperse within the atmosphere. So again, that's a particular strength. We also have very strong groups working on aircraft design, and it is our hope that within the next few months we will see NASA selecting one of our designs, the D8, which has been in the news, as the new X-plane. And again, this is a design where we estimate that the savings in terms of fuel consumption could be as high as 70%. And given the challenges that I mentioned earlier about cost of energy, environmental impact, and increased need for transportation, we feel that even in a very conservative domain as air transportation, if there is a good time for making a leap advance into designs and new technologies is right now. So new designs, we have also expertise in air traffic control. Again, the whole air transportation system is a system with many components to it. One is vehicles, the other one is operations, the other one is fuels, the other one is understanding environmental impacts. We do have expertise in each of these areas. The other area where, again, I think we are particularly positioned is the area of autonomous systems and autonomy. And this is not only because of people in our department, but also with our collaboration with other people at MIT and other faculty members at MIT, typically in CSAIL and in Leeds. But again, this is an area with tremendous challenges, and we think we are particularly well positioned. Perhaps in terms of widespread use of autonomy for everyday life, the most important challenge is trust. It is a domain where getting a system to do something autonomously and demonstrating it is okay, is interesting. And in controlled environments, we can have cars that drive themselves, and several faculty from our department have demonstrated that. The big challenge is to be able to do it over and over and over without any mistakes or accidents or errors. And this is the big problem these days. How to develop the expertise necessary to be able to trust these systems for everyday life. At MRT, this is one of the main focus. Again, we work closely with industry, Lockheed, Boeing, but also smaller companies, startups of all sorts, and not to mention our collaborations with Draper and with Lincoln Labs. So we've created the department does have many collaborations, and all of them are very important. From some of the collaborations we extract the importance of the criticality of some of the problems. From some of the other collaborations we come up with the strategies and solutions, but again, it's an area of a lot of activity with important problems and challenges, which we foresee will grow in the future. One of the problems that I'm very interested these days is that of lightning strike protection. Again, this is a problem which normally has been addressed by developing guidelines every time that an accident has occurred. New rules and guidelines are put in place. But again, it's a problem where we see opportunity for better understanding and coming up with more effective solutions. And the problem can be approached from two perspectives. One is try to mitigate the consequences of lightning striking on an aircraft. And here we are doing some research, but perhaps one more interesting is actually trying to come up with strategies for avoidance. Is there a way you could actually control the charge in an aircraft so that lightning would not strike? And that's something which we are considering, actively considering, of great interest to our partners, in this case Boeing, and which we hope we will be successful in demonstrating that capability.